Hello, we have 5 minutes, but I decided to start now just to make sure that this was working and everything. So if you're watching this in the playback, just skip ahead to 5 minutes and that's when I'll be starting. No, 4 minutes. Let's see. Can you hear me? Can someone type in the chat if you can hear me with this microphone? Okay, maybe just use it out. Hello. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes. I just got on here a little bit early just to make sure this thing was working because of technology. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna wait 3 more minutes. So excited to do this live stream. It's insane. Time now seems to be going so much slower. Hello. For the people that are here, can you just write in the chat, hi, can you hear me? Okay, awesome, thank you. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait 2 more minutes just because I said I was starting at 4:30 to give people time, and then I'm gonna jump right in. I am gonna save this live stream to post after, so I am gonna start right at 4:30, just because anybody that comes late can watch it later, because I want to honor your time. Okay, guys. So like 2 minutes. Hello. Okay, I have about 1 minute, then we'll start. So also, before we get started, I should just warn that I am pregnant. I am 37 weeks tomorrow. So if I'm talking and I get out of breath, please just bear with me. It's because I have a little one pressing up on my lungs. And sometimes when I talk, I get out of breath. But I am okay. Everything is all good. Okay. So I think that we can get started. Yay! Okay, thank you guys so much for joining me. I am so excited to do this live stream because I'm shifting to change the way that I show up in the world to really talk about something that I'm passionate about. So today, this live stream is basically about if you are tired of limiting beliefs, blocking your success and blocking your coins and your blessings. In this live stream, we're going to go over how to overcome limiting beliefs using evidence-based psychology and spiritual wisdom combined. like I said, I'm excited for this live stream because I'm shifting the way that I show up in the world to really help people develop a manifestation mindset so they can attract all the abundance, success, prosperity, coins that they are divinely have a right to. And I'm really excited to do that because it's something that I'm passionate about. It's something that I have experience in helping people shift their mindsets. And I think it's going to be a way that really aligns with my purpose. And I know that's something that I've been striving to do for a while, and I know other people are as well. So it feels really good to finally feel like I'm walking in those steps. If you don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Tiffany Shelton Mariol. I'm a psychologist, and I'm also the owner of Conscious Life Shop, where we sell modern meditation cushions. And starting next week on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be posting weekly videos on how to develop a manifestation mindset. We're going to be diving deep into manifestation, the law of attraction, and all things mindset wise on how to shift your beliefs and your thinking so you can really align with the blessings that God has promised you. So I'm really excited to do that. So please subscribe if you're interested in that and want to keep seeing videos on how to do that. Just be sure to subscribe to my channel. So if you have ever wanted anything like to start a business or to attract more money in your business, but you have a little voice in the back of your head or maybe saying, well, is that really going to happen for you? Or maybe it's going to take a lot more time, or just those nagging little voices that kind of show up as resistance. Those are limiting beliefs. And today in this live stream, I really want to dive deep into how to overcome those beliefs so you can develop beliefs that really attract what you divinely deserve and really help you increase your faith in what's coming to you, because belief is a huge part of manifesting and attracting what you want. So that resistance really kind of pulls you away from the things that you want to attract. I've helped a lot of clients as a psychologist change their mindsets, change negative beliefs. So I'm excited to be applying it in this setting. I've also used it in my own life to overcome limiting beliefs, to attract a book deal, to build my business, which has been more and more successful each year, as well as to get a PhD at a time when odds were really just against me. So I've used it in my personal life as well, to manifest my husband and this baby. So I'm really excited to be sharing this knowledge with other people, and I hope that it can help other people as well. So please take notes, because I'm going to be diving deep and giving a lot of information that's useful. I'm not going to be doing fluff or just like quick tips that you can read in a quote. I'm really going to give you like evidence-based ways to change your beliefs and form new beliefs. So please take notes, because I'm going to give you a lot of information. So first I want to start with you understanding the process. Like, how do our beliefs, how do our beliefs shape the way that we manifest? So I did a little diagram, but what I realized afterwards is that it's probably showing up for you guys backwards. So in the first link in the chat, I also put a link to my website with this diagram in it, without the words like in reverse. But so our body, our mind, and our spirits are all connected. So what we think affects the way that we feel and affects our reality. So you can call this triangle mind, body, spirit. In psychology, we call it emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. So just remember this triangle. And if you're looking online, you can actually see it the way it's set up. But we'll start off with the mind part of the mind part of the triangle here. So the mind part of our triangle has our thoughts in it. It's our ego. So the goal of the mind is to protect our ego. It shows up as thoughts, and the fuel is beliefs. So if you imagine an iceberg, above the water, it are our thoughts. Those are our conscious, the conscious words we hear in our brain. Underneath the surface, the ocean, the unconscious, are our beliefs. And those are the huge foundation of the iceberg. So our beliefs really fuel our thoughts, right? So as our thoughts are connected to our spirit or our emotions, that impacts the way that we feel. So our beliefs, our belief systems that are down here, impacts our emotions. So when you have a thought, that affects the way that you feel. It also affects the way that you behave and your reality on this side as well. But we'll start with spirit. So spirit shows up as emotions. The goal of the spirit, of our inner spirit, is to expand, to experience freedom, to align with our higher selves. And the fuel underneath our spirit is intuition, or this knowing that we have inside of our spirit. So whenever we have a thought that isn't aligned with our spirit, our spirit will offer us negative emotion. Whenever we have a thought that does align with our spirit, Coco, stop. Sorry, it's my cat. Whenever we have a thought that does align with our spirit offers us positive emotion. So whenever you're feeling something negative, like emotions are just signals. And I try to stress this so much to my patients and in my content that I share, because people are really afraid of emotions, especially negative emotions. So whenever you're having a feeling like fear or anger or sadness, that means you're experiencing you're either having a thought or a behavior, something you're doing or thinking is not in alignment with your spirit, whose goal is to expand, to have freedom, to align with your higher self. And that's your spirit's way of letting you know that, hey, you're thinking, you need to change your thoughts, or you need to change what you're doing. So that spirit offers us emotion. And then our mind also affects our behavior. So if you think about, if you have a thought like, oh, this won't really happen for me, you can see how that can affect your behaviors. Then you might not go for opportunities that come your way because you don't really think that, success is going to happen for you. And that's going to affect the way that you feel, because your spirit's like, I want to expand. I want these other things to happen for me. And you're not going for it. So our beliefs also affect our reality on the body side here. And so that is the goal of the body, is to act, and it shows up in our behaviors and our body sensations. So like tension when we feel anxious, and the fuel of this sort of tangible side is reality. So that's how it all works together. That's how our beliefs affect our reality and what we're able to manifest. If you have questions about that, I know I went over it kind of fast, just write it in the chat if it doesn't make sense, and I'll answer that. The next thing is, how do you then know, okay, what are my specific limiting beliefs? Because you got to know what they are in order to overcome them. So you're going to start with what you want, something you want that's causing you resistance. How do you know you have resistance? You're going to feel your emotions. So this is when emotional intelligence is really important. And I teach my clients this all the time. Our emotions are our signals, and we really need to be in tune with them to understand what's going on and what we really want, and what we're really resisting. So you're going to start with what you want. Let's say you want to manifest $200,000 in your business next year. And you notice, ooh, a little resistance when I have that thought. You want to notice what is the emotion tied to that little ping you get when you say, I want 200,000 in my business next year. And you might notice that the feeling is apprehension. The moment you notice the apprehension, you want to say, what is the thought associated with that apprehension? And it might be something like, let's go with, I don't know if I'm able to do that next year. I don't know if I'm capable of doing that next year. Once you have the thought associated with the feeling, because it's all connected, you want to say, what's the belief underneath that thought? Like, why am I thinking I'm not capable? What belief is feeding into that? And it might be that I don't have what it takes, or I'm not as good as everyone else around me, or I'm less than. So those are those sort of unconscious beliefs that feed that thought, would feed your emotions, that resistance that you're getting to the 200K, which is not allowing you to manifest it. So that's how you figure out what your limiting beliefs are. You're just going to start with the desire. You're going to go to the resistance and the feeling that's coming up. You're going to uncover the thoughts, and then you're going to uncover the underlying belief. So if that makes sense, type manifest in the comments, and then I'll know that you guys are getting it. And if you have a question, type any questions in the comments, and then I'll answer those questions. So How are we going to overcome these negative beliefs? And this is what I have expertise in. So this is what I'm excited about. So you are going to go to the ATM and then, thank you. Yay, thank you. And then you're just going to buy what you want. So you're going to go to the ATM and you're going to buy what you want. Okay, so ATM is an acronym and buy what you want from the universe is a metaphor. So I'll start with the A. The A stands for acceptance. So once you notice those emotions, that resistance, you really want to offer acceptance to those emotions before you try to push them away, before you try to change them. In Buddhism, they say pain plus non-acceptance equals suffering. So you want to accept your emotions without judgment, like that apprehension in that example. You want to say, whoa, I'm feeling that. And you don't want to judge yourself for having that emotion. Instead, you want to allow it to work through you and investigate it. And what acceptance really is in the psychology world is defined as mindfulness of what you're trying to accept. Yay. Patience. So you're going to give yourself time to feel the emotion and let it work through you. And self-compassion. So you might say something like, I can understand why I'd be apprehensive. I've been through a lot of trials in my life. I've seen a lot of stuff. I can understand why I might have a little bit of fear. So you're going to say something nice to yourself, something a good mommy would say to you, or a good enough mommy would say to you if you were having this feeling. And you're going to accept the emotion without judging yourself. So that's the A for ATM. The next thing you're going to do is transcend your ego. So you're going to transcend your mind, these beliefs, and you're going to align with your higher self. So before we get into managing those beliefs, I want you to align with the God that is inside of you. So you're going to shift your focus from focusing on the thoughts of the ego, those fears like it won't happen for me or I'm not capable, to focusing on I am a divine creature. With all things are possible with God, and God lives inside of me. And I have a quote that I want to read you guys that really kind of pings this home. It says, the creator, which you can call God or the universe, whatever you believe in, the creator has planted within every creature a fragment of himself, a spark, a spirit of the same nature as himself. And thanks to this spirit, every creature can become a creator. And this means that instead of always waiting for their needs to be satisfied by some external source, human beings can work inwardly by means of their thoughts, their will, and their spirit to obtain nourishing, healing elements they need. This is why the teachings I bring you are of spirit, of creator, and not of matter. So this quote is from a philosopher called Neville. And I got it from the book Wishes Fulfilled by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And it really highlights the fact that our knowing, our intuition of the spirit, just that knowing of I'm so much higher than the thoughts in my head. I'm so much grander than the thoughts in my head. That sort of intuition, that's so much more powerful than any belief that you can have, any unconscious belief that you can have. So aligning with that before you start investigating the ego, the thoughts of the ego, is really powerful because you'll come from a place of already knowing that you are a divine being, and you'll really resonate with the God inside of you, which with God, all things are possible, right? So when I was starting my business, Conscious Life Shop, I had all these fears come up for me. It even came out in my dreams. What are you doing? Why are you spending so much money on this? You're still getting your PhD. Who's going to really buy meditation cushions? All these thoughts coming up. But I was able to detach from that sort of ego chatter because I was really aligned with the fact that I know that all things are going to work out. I know God's going to have my back. And this is something that I believe is part of my purpose, either to learn from or it's going to work out. So I had this intuition and I was aligned with the spirit part of me. And that allowed me to detach from the fears, almost just kind of listening to them okay, girl, and continue on to act in ways that allowed me to manifest a business that I'm really, really passionate about and happy that I went through with and didn't let the fears get to me. So That is the T. It is to transcend your ego and align with your higher self. Let me know if you have any questions about that. It's a little deep, but I think once you get the idea of aligning with intuition and the God inside of you, it kind of makes sense. Meditation is a great way to kind of align with that inner spirit as well. Then we have M, which is the manage part. So the manage part is I'm going to give you 4 techniques that you can use to really manage the limiting beliefs. So you've accepted the negative emotion without judging yourself. You have aligned with your higher self. Now you're going to use these techniques to kind of manage the limiting beliefs, overcome them really, and develop new ones. So the first one I'm going to teach you is probably the hardest one to implement, but it has the highest benefits. So that is a thought record. So this is something from cognitive behavioral therapy, and it has been proven to work in many, many, many studies in helping people change negative beliefs and align with new, more positive beliefs. And you can look up a thought record online, but I'm going to give you the overview of it so you can start implementing it today. So what it is it's a way to start journaling your thoughts over time. That's why I say it's the hardest, because it takes time, so that you can start to notice your unconscious beliefs and start giving new evidence to form new beliefs in your unconscious. So first things first, you're going to notice a thought, and then you're going to notice like what triggered that thought. So let's say that you have the example of you wanting to open a business, then you notice you're having a little bit of fear. You want to write down the thought that's associated with that fear. And maybe you're opening like a brick and mortar business and you're thinking, no one's ever going to really come to this business. Like, I'm afraid that I'm going to open this and no one's going to come. So that is the initial thought. But the thing about thought records is it probes you to go deeper. And we want to get to the hot thought, which is going to be your core belief. And a core belief is just a belief that we have about ourselves, other people, or the world we live in. And usually most human beings have about 2 to 3 negative core beliefs that are in their unconscious and kind of affect the way that they operate in this world. So you're going to, let's say the thought is no one will come. To get to your hot thought, your core belief, you're going to start asking yourself, and what does that mean about me? So you're going to keep asking that till you can't ask anymore. And that's the core belief that we're going to use. So you might say something like, no one will come. Okay, what does that mean about me? I can't get loyal customers. Okay, what does that mean about me? Probably not likable. Okay, what does that mean about me? And you can keep working down and you might get to the core belief, I'm unlovable, right? And so this is the hot thought that we're going to use 2 refuting facts, because we want to balance out this negative core belief with 2 refuting facts, because we need 2 positives to overcome a negative. That's just the way the human mind works, that refute this negative belief. So instead of fighting directly with that belief, like saying, yeah, you are lovable, you want to just add to it with facts. Our unconscious likes facts, and studies have shown just by adding 2 facts to it that your unconscious doesn't argue with, you're able to start forming new beliefs. So you might say something like, well, I do know my cat loves me and my best friend loves me. That's 1. And no matter what, God will always love me. That's 2. So in your thought record, you wrote down the emotion, you wrote down the thought, you wrote down the hot thought. Now you wrote down these 2 refuting facts. And the last step is to write, you're going to put it all together. You're going to write, sometimes I think I'm unlovable, but my cat and my best friend love me. And above all else, I know God loves me. And then you're going to notice how you feel. And remember, how we feel affects. So our thoughts affect how we feel and affects our reality. And that's the purpose of this exercise. And especially our unconscious. Once we start feeling new emotions, so once you say something like, sometimes I think I'm unlovable, but I know my cat loves me. I know my best friend loves me. And I know God loves me. You notice how you feel. Probably going to start feeling some positive emotion. And that's going to be the place that you start to align with and form new beliefs. Thought records do take time because you're working directly with the unconscious, which took years to develop. You probably developed that core belief from maybe the way you were treated in your childhood, or maybe relationships that you had in your past. So it's not going to change overnight. But in like about 6 to 8 weeks, if you keep a thought record journal, research has shown, and I've seen it with patients, and it's so beautiful to see. Like, I could cry thinking about it. It works. It really, really, really works. So that's the first management technique. The second one is a little bit simpler, but it also works. It's a law of attraction technique called the focus wheel. And in that link that I put in the description, I have an example of it. I also have it here. It's a focus wheel. So a focus wheel kind of helps you work your way up to a belief that you have some resistance with. So let's say you're in debt and you want financial freedom. But when you say that, you might have so much debt, you're like, I don't really believe that. Like, in your mind, you don't really believe it when you're saying it. I got Sally Mae calling me. It's like, okay, this affirmation, yeah, I can say it, but I don't really believe it, right? So you're going to work your way up to believing that. And a focus wheel is going to help you do that. So you're going to start with the center circle, and that's what you want to manifest. You're not going to spend too much time on it because it has that resistance that's coming up for you, which is like, ugh. It's kind of like a merry-go-round. Abraham Hicks describes it as a merry-go-round. Like, when you're a kid and you have those merry-go-rounds and your friends are already on it, it's going so fast, you can't really jump on it. Like this belief, you can't really jump on it right now, but if they slow it down, then you can get on. So we're going to slow it down by going from very specific statement, like, I want financial freedom, I want financial abundance, to more general statements that you can believe in that doesn't really target your unconscious so directly face on, because our unconscious doesn't like that. It just gets stronger if we go straight for it. So you're going to work your way up to it instead. So, and I put this example on the site, so I'm just going to read it to you guys. So you're going to start adding to these outer circles statements that you believe that are aligned with your inner statement that you want to believe. So, and then you're going to notice kind of how you're feeling as you add these other statements, and you're going to keep adding till you get all the way around the circle, and you might add more and more and more. So in this example, I want financial abundance. That's too much for me. So you start adding. So you might say something like, some things are working for me. Okay, you write that one down. I can see things working in my favor. In the past, God has always supplied my needs. Might be fun to try to get financial abundance. Okay. I do believe I create my own reality. I can feel I'm on a path of less resistance. I'm looking forward to what's coming next. I always figure things out. And you know what? I believe I can expand my beliefs. And then you notice how you feel, right? It's all connected. You're working your way up to believing that you can have financial abundance. This is a technique that's fun to do. It's easy to do, and it kind of opens your unconscious in a way that you're not fighting with it. I'm going to do a video and go more into detail on how to do this, like how to come up with these things around. But the essential key in a focus wheel is you're elevating your vibration. So with each new thought, because our thoughts are connected to our emotions, you're raising your vibration, which just means you're raising your mood. You're experiencing a more elevated feeling. And from that place of a more elevated feeling, you're able to attract money, abundance, financial success, those sorts of things. The next technique, the third one, is questions, not affirmations. So many studies have shown that affirmations do not work on changing beliefs. They only work at affirming things that we already believe in. So if you already believe in it, so you say an affirmation, you have a positive emotion, keep those affirmations. Those are great. But when it comes to any affirmations that you have any resistance to, studies have shown affirmations make those beliefs stronger. So what you want to start doing is asking questions instead of using affirmations in those instances. And I have a video that I'm going to post on this next week that goes into this more detail. But you want to start asking yourself questions, because that creativity, that curiosity opens your unconscious, creates new feelings for your unconscious, and allows you to let in new beliefs. So research has shown that questions work best at changing beliefs, not affirmations. So you might say something like, let's use the example that you're going to go speak at a conference and you're trying to use the affirmation, I am confident. You might say, here I am confident. Ooh, resistance. So you know you don't want to use that. So then you're going to say something like, am I confident? Well, let me evaluate. No, but maybe I could be. So could I be confident? Yeah, I think I could. How could I be confident? Well, I could read up on how breathing techniques that I could do before I go in. I could maybe get some advice from other speakers. And a really good way to use questions, and Abraham Hicks in the Law of Attraction uses this a lot, is asking the question why, because it tricks the subconscious to thinking that you already believe in something. So you might say, instead of saying I am confident, you might ask a question like, why am I confident that I'll be great in this speaking engagement? And then you start listing reasons why you believe you are confident. Well, I know this subject like the back of my hand. I'm speaking to a friendly audience. I am supported by people that can help me if I get too nervous. So, you start listing all these reasons why you believe, and it sort of shifts your belief system. It shifts the way that you feel, and then you manifest from that space. It's brilliant. It's been shown to work in studies. It's really, really amazing. So questions, not affirmations. And then the last thing I wanted to offer you when it comes to overcoming limiting beliefs is distraction. Healthy distraction. So you don't want to use this all the time, but when you have a belief, limiting belief that is really, really, really strong, like for instance, you got fired and you're late on bills, right? And you have this belief, I'm just not going to get this money. I need to get things paid like yesterday. Abraham Hicks uses this example. You really need to distance yourself, create some space, so you can start feeling other emotions to manifest from, really just like raising your vibration, right? Because it's all connecting. So instead of attacking that limiting belief head on, you're going to distract yourself by saying something like, you know what, I don't have to deal with this now. These bills will be here when I wake up. I'm going to go take a nap. Or I am going to focus on helping someone else right now. I'm not going to focus on myself. And you're not going to really tackle the belief head on. You're just going to distract yourself a little bit so you can start bringing in some positive emotion. The first one being relief. And from that place of relief, you can start building, expanding into new thoughts and higher vibrations, so you can manifest from that place. I'll give you an example. About 5 years ago, I was really, really strapped for cash. I was a college student, waiting on my financial aid. I had changed bank accounts, so they sent it to the wrong bank account. And you guys know how it was everything that could go wrong was going wrong. And I was really, really strapped. And that's all I could think about. And no one could tell me any different that, things were going to change. So one day I just got tired of caring about it and believing in that. And I just let it go. And I had like $20 to my name, and I gave it to a homeless person just because I was like, you know what? At least I have somewhere to stay. This $20 is not going to make or break my bills right now, because I needed so much money at the time. That I kind of said, you know what, I'll just think about this later. It's going to work itself out, and I'm going to let it go. The next day, I got a check in the mail. I was expecting it in my bank account. A lady had shifted it so that it would be mailed to me. So as soon as I was able to let go of that belief, but not only letting go, but just distract myself, just saying, I still believed it, that I wasn't going to get it in time for anything. But I was able to just kind of step away, give myself some space. I received it. So that's the fourth one. So that's the ATM. You're going to go to the ATM, right? And the last thing you're going to do is you're going to go buy what you want from the universe. So you're going to define what you want. In this case, money, which is very noble, because with money, you can have freedom, you can help other people, you can help yourself, you can help your children. Very noble desire. And then you're going to say, okay, you're going to use what you got from the ATM, that acceptance, all those refuting facts, the things on your focus wheel, the questions that you've asked yourself, those new vibrations. You're going to use what you got from the ATM, and you're going to use that to be and feel what you want. I want to go into this deeper in a series just on like manifestation 101, but the overarching idea of it is, once you're in the right vibration by using what you got from the ATM, you can then align to, so attracting what you want is kind of a misnomer. It's really being what you want in your day in the life. Let's say you want to be a famous author. In your day in the life now, you want to be that famous author. You want to feel what it feels like to be her on a daily basis. You want to embody what it might be like. You want to start existing in that way right here, right now, as if you already have those blessings. So you go to the ATM, be what you want, feel what you want, and then from that space, you're going to attract your abundance. I hope that makes sense because I was talking really, really quickly. But that's essentially how you overcome limiting beliefs. All those things were based in evidence and spiritual wisdom. And if you're wondering how to kind of make all this practical on a daily basis, I do have a, let me just put it in the comments now. I do have a free guide on how to use manifestation on a daily basis, like practical ways, a daily routine that I just put there. It's completely free. You can just click on it. And then I'll also be posting videos going more in depth, I won't be talking as fast, and it'll be edited, so things will be much more clear on manifestation mindset. So please subscribe to my channel. And if anyone has any questions, I would be happy to answer and have a discussion with you guys, or if you just want to share how you use manifestation, just write it in the chat. But in the meantime, I'll just say that I'm so grateful for everyone that has tuned in and watched. This is the start of me relaunching my channel, so I'm just excited that people are here to support me and feeling really blessed and grateful for that. So are there any questions? Let's see. I don't see any. So there are no questions, then I guess I will just sign off. Thank you guys so much again for watching. My next stream. That's a good idea. I think if people like this, I can do it again. Until then, until I stream again, I will be posting every Thursday. So that is a good question. A new video, so just stay tuned. And maybe I'll do streams every now and then, maybe once a month. Thank you. Thank you, Nakia. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day and weekend that's coming soon. Thank you. Thank you, Rosie. Okay. Namaste.